So maybe you're in a place now where everything feels heavy, where you can't see a way forward. Sometimes you reach a point where there's just no way out. You've fought and fought, and you don't know how things could ever get better. Blow after blow. And just when you thought you'd had it all, one more hit. People say, I know exactly how you feel. But they don't. They're not in your shoes. They don't carry your silence, your exhaustion, your fear. That feeling. It's lonely. It's isolating. Do you recognize that? I don't know what you're going through right now, or what made your life feel so hopeless. But I do know one thing. If you make it through this, you won't just survive. You'll be stronger than ever before. And I don't say that just because the books say so. I say that because I've lived it. I grew up in a small village. I left home when I was 14. By 15, I was living alone in Amsterdam. No money, no job, just me, alone. So trust me, I've known setbacks from a very young age. But even then, even now, I still can't claim to know what you are going through. What I can offer is a few words, a little softness, and a reminder that you are worth it. Even if we've never met, I'm here with you. Because every time I thought, this is it, there's no way out, something unexpected would happen. As if the universe whispered, that's enough. Now we step in. But here's the strange part. That shift, that miracle, that turning point, it never came when I begged for it. It never came when I hit rock bottom and pleaded for a sign. And it didn't come when I waited in silence, hoping someone else would save me. It came when I let go, when I stopped forcing, stopped collapsing, and surrendered. Not out of despair, but out of trust. A quiet trust that maybe, just maybe, I was still worth it. Even without knowing how, even without knowing when. Just trust. And that trust, it changed everything. And you know what's even stranger? For everything I lost, something more beautiful always came back. Not just that ex I cried over for weeks. I'm talking about the real stuff, the deeper grief, like the business I built and lost because someone I trusted betrayed me. A friend, a partner, gone. Even the death of my father brought something beautiful. You might think, how could something beautiful come out of that? Let me explain. My father, he had his light. He was a gentleman, playful, warm, a thinker. He wrote. He loved languages. He helped students with math and physics. But he had his shadows too. He drank more than he should have. Much more. The last 10 years of his life, he lived in a closed facility for people with dementia. When I visited with my niece, she was 14. He didn't know my name anymore, but he looked at her and smiled. He said, "You brought such a beautiful woman with you." He had no idea, and somehow that was okay, because what I got back was unexpected. Not money, not inheritance. What I got back was a suitcase full of gentle memories. The hard ones, the painful ones, they faded. They dissolved into silence, into a kind of emptiness that didn't hurt anymore. What remained was softness, the way he always wore a suit, the way he used to laugh, the way he used to be, before life pulled him down. I know he used to fall, collapse, not speak, not stand, not move, because of the alcohol. But I can't see it anymore. The images are gone. And what's left? A feeling of love, of dignity, of peace. He left me no gold, but he gave me something greater. He gave me an example of how I want to live, That is his legacy, and that's a gift I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. But now, let's get back to you. Your loss, your pain, your grief. What I want to ask from you is to turn all of that into something else, into hope, into trust, into a glimpse of a future. I'm not asking you to figure out how you'll get out of this. I'm asking you to look beyond it, even if it feels impossible right now. Because without that hope, without that trust, without even a flicker of a future, the weight of your sorrow becomes heavier. You don't need to become stronger. I'm not asking that. I'm asking you to look beyond the horizon. You don't need to suppress your emotions. I'm not asking that either. I'm asking you to hold them, to honor them, for as long as they need to be held. You don't need to look back. Not today. I'm only asking you to remember one thing. There's a beautiful future waiting for you. So how do you begin to change your perspective? How do you create just a little bit hope? You use the power of written and spoken words, because thoughts, they don't just wander. They can get lost. But words, they give direction. Sometimes they even give perspective. So here's what I invite you to do. Write down what happened, what you lost, what you missed, what hurts. Simple, raw, real. Make it a story, a poem, anything, as long as it holds your truth. And when you're ready, read it out loud. Read it until the tears stop falling. And then you write a new story. A story about what this pain might teach you, what beauty might come next, what you hope for, what you still believe in. And when you're ready, read that story too, out loud, just for you. Read it until the tears are no longer from sorrow, but from hope, from trust, from the future you still deserve. Do you want to know what I once read out loud for myself about my own father? This is what I wrote. My dear Dad, I don't know if you can still hear me, or if these words land anywhere, but I want to speak them anyway, because silence feels too empty today. I wish I had said more, asked more, shared more, without rush, without noise. And now I'm left with memories, some whisper, some scream. You know, you left something behind, not just in what you did, but in who you were, in the way you looked, laughed, thought. You're still there, in the quiet moments between conversations. I miss you, but I won't hold you back. That would dishonor your freedom. Instead, I give you to the wind so that you can keep moving and I can keep living. Thank you for who you were and who you still are in me. And you know what I wrote and spoke out loud after that? I wrote down everything I am now because of him.